Welcome back to Exciting Europe.
Prepare to step back in time and immerse yourself in the fascinating history and art of this captivating city. Housed on Piazza San Marco, the Correr Museum offers a rich tapestry of Venetian life, from its humble beginnings to the era of its magnificent republic. Inside, you'll discover an impressive collection spanning centuries. Wander through elegantly decorated rooms that once belonged to Venetian nobility, admiring neoclassical furnishings and artwork. Journey through the historical section, where you'll encounter artifacts, maps, and documents that vividly illustrate Venice's maritime power, political structure, and daily life. The Museo Correr truly provides a comprehensive and engaging experience, offering a profound understanding of Venice's unique cultural heritage. It's a must-see for anyone wanting to delve deeper into the soul of this extraordinary place. Enjoy your visit.
The Correr Museum is open every day, from April 1st to October 31st. Opening hours are from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and the last admission at 5 p.m. During the period from November 1st to March 31st, the museum is open daily from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., with the last admission at 4 p.m. A full-price ticket costs 14 euros, and this single ticket grants you access to the Correr Museum, the National Archaeological Museum, and the monumental rooms of the Marciana National Library. You can find a link to the official webpage in the description, and a QR code is also available for scanning on the screen. The entrance to the museum is situated on St. Mark's Square, directly opposite St. Mark's Basilica.
Our tour of the museum will begin in the palace's neoclassical rooms, an ideal backdrop for the collection of statues and bas-reliefs by Antonio Canova. Following this, we will explore collections detailing various facets of Venetian history during its centuries of greatness and political independence. We will discuss iconic elements such as gondolas, Venetian coinage, and the Bucentaur, the ceremonial barge of the Doge. Furthermore, our tour will encompass rooms dedicated to one of the world's richest and most significant collections of Venetian art, tracing the city's painting tradition from its origins to the early 16th century. Finally, we will examine Jacopo de Barbari's renowned perspective view of Venice from 1500, a masterpiece often considered a 500-year-old Google Maps of Venice. Our tour will conclude in the imperial rooms of the Royal Palace.
Immerse yourself in the neoclassical artistry of Antonio Canova within the Correr Museum's elegant halls, once graced by the Napoleonic era. Beyond the grand marble sculptures, discover the intriguing Canova Mobile, a unique piece of furniture offering a personal glimpse into the artist's world. Filled with his working tools, sketches, and even his own paintings, it reveals a lesser-known facet of his talent, a true cabinet of curiosities. However, a pivotal work from Canova's early Venetian years was Daedalus and Icarus. This sculpture, celebrated at Venice's annual art fair and commercially successful, showcases a fascinating contrast. The youthful, carefree Icarus anticipates his flight, while the shrewd inventor Daedalus, possibly a portrait of Canova's grandfather, embodies wisdom and artistic ingenuity in a remarkably naturalistic depiction. Sculpted in soft stone between 1775 and 1776, the two-figure group Orpheus and Eurydice was a significant early work for the barely 18-year-old Antonio Canova. Unlike his later pristine marbles, these statues, originally gracing the gate pillars of Senator Giovanni Fallier's Asolo Villa, likely reflect a more immediate, expressive style with hints of Baroque influence. Worth noting is a small yet significant preparatory model or bozzetto for Eros and Psyche, now housed in the Louvre. This delicate piece offers a fascinating insight into the meticulous preparation and practice underpinning Canova's masterful creations. The Correr Museum also preserves delicate plaster casts of his monumental funerary sculptures and striking bas-reliefs, drawing inspiration from classical narratives. These innovative works firmly establish Canova as the leading figure of neoclassicism, a legacy proudly held within these Venetian walls.
The Correr Museum's collection of paintings and objects vividly illustrates the history of the Serenissima, with a particular focus on the Doge and other public officials. Among the displayed items are the distinctive cornu hats worn by the Doges. Treasures of the collection include a complete array of coins minted in Venice from the 9th century until the fall of the Republic in 1797. Venice possessed one of Europe's most significant mints, celebrated worldwide for its silver and gold coins. The civic collections offer one of the finest and most comprehensive representations of this history, showcasing a broad selection spanning over a millennium thanks to items from the Correr and Zoppetti bequests. The Venetian mint commenced coin production around AD 820, with a denarius minted in the name of the Holy Roman Emperor. It was not until the 12th century, during the reign of Doge Vitale Michiel, that the coins began to bear the name of the Doge, the highest local authority. On display is the model of Bucentaur from 1728. The Bucentaur served as the magnificent ceremonial barge of the Doges of Venice. Each year on Ascension Day, until 1798, it carried the Doge to the Adriatic Sea for the Marriage of the Sea, a symbolic ceremony uniting Venice with the waters. Historians believe that 4 principal barges existed, with the first notable Bucentaur constructed in 1311. The final and most splendid of these historic vessels embarked on its inaugural voyage in 1729 during the rule of Doge Alvise, the third Sebastiano Mocenigo. Immortalized in paintings by Canaletto and Francesco Guardi, this floating palace measured 35 meters in length and over 8 meters in height, featuring a 2-deck main salon capable of seating 90 individuals. In 1798, the ship was destroyed under Napoleon's command as a symbol of his conquest of Venice. However, in February 2008, the Fondazione Bucentaur announced a €20 million initiative to reconstruct the 1729 Bucentaur. For centuries, the gondola served as a primary mode of transport and the most common boat within Venice. First mentioned in 1094, it's estimated that 17th and 18th century Venice boasted 8,000 to 10,000 gondolas. Today, only around 400 remain in active service, almost exclusively for tourist hire. Despite its current iconic status, the gondola was not the only form of transportation during the Republic of Venice. Jacopo de Barbari's from 1500 map shows many other boat types like batellas and carolinas, which are now mostly gone or used only for racing. Historically, gondolas featured cabins for privacy and were often lavishly decorated. Few of these cabins survive, with examples on display in the Doge's Palace and Ca' Rezzonico, and maquettes offering a glimpse into their former splendor. Within these same historic rooms, alongside the masterpieces we've discussed, you can also admire the painting of Saint Justina with Venetian officials, a later work by Tintoretto. From the late 16th century onwards, Saint Justina was especially revered in Venice because the significant victory of Lepanto occurred on her feast day, October 7th. Transitioning towards the picture gallery, an unexpected sight awaits: an Egyptian mummy. This is the preserved body of a man who lived approximately 2,000 years ago, during the period of Roman rule in Egypt. Mummification was an intricate and lengthy process. Certain internal organs, the lungs, intestines, liver, and stomach, were removed and preserved within canopic jars. Others, such as the brain, were discarded. The body then underwent immersion in natron, a substance that absorbed its moisture, followed by anointing with oils and perfumes, and finally wrapping in bandages.
The museum boasts one of the world's finest collections of 16th century Italian Renaissance Majolica, renowned for both its extensive variety and exceptional quality. The majority of its 130 istoriati, or figured pieces, were part of Teodoro Correr's original collection, likely acquired from the city's noble palaces. In 16th century Italy, these were not primarily intended as everyday tableware, but rather as luxurious decorative items. These costly pieces were typically commissioned from the most celebrated ceramic painters for weddings or other significant dynastic events celebrated by prominent Italian princely families, as well as high-ranking clergy and aristocracy. Jacopo de Barbari's remarkable wood engraving of Venice in 1500 holds exceptional value, especially because the 6 original pear wood blocks, showcased in excellent condition, have survived. De Barbari pioneered the concept of the perspective city view from above, and his work profoundly influenced all subsequent maps and cityscapes until the 18th century. Given the scarcity of earlier depictions of Venice, this detailed bird's-eye view, illustrating the city's appearance in 1500, is of paramount importance to historians. The engraving was first printed in Venice by a German merchant, Anton Kolb, at his Rialto shop. Within the Correr Museum's picture gallery, several masterpieces command attention. Antonello da Messina's poignant Dead Christ, supported by 3 angels, is a prime example. Its original purpose, whether for a church altar or private devotion, remains unknown. Though once larger and with faces regrettably damaged by 20th century restoration, note the distant sea and the Church of San Francesco in Messina, suggesting it may have been painted around 1576 upon the artist's return from Venice. The work clearly shows Antonello's awareness of Giovanni Bellini's Pieta in Rimini, which also depicts an open tomb. Giovanni Bellini is represented by his striking early work, the Transfiguration, painted around 1460 using both tempera and oil on panel. The depiction of Christ between Moses and Elijah on Mount Tabor, with Peter, James, and John below, is particularly significant, as it is likely the first altarpiece dedicated to this subject, predating the official institution of the religious festival in 1457. Also captivating is Vittore Carpaccio's renowned 2 Venetian ladies, likely painted around 1495 or later. Long debated as representing either courtesans or a mother and daughter with their pets, the fashionably dressed patrician women, with the then popular bleached blonde hair, are shown in thoughtful repose on a rooftop terrace, a common feature of Venetian homes of the era. Symbolic elements within the painting may allude to love, the dove and orange, and maternity, the lily and myrtle plants.
And now we proceed towards the opulent royal palace and its imperial rooms. The decoration of these spaces largely dates back to the Habsburg era, though some significant elements from the Napoleonic period have been preserved. This transformation occurred in 2 main phases. The first between 1836 and 1838, preceding the arrival of Emperor Ferdinand I, who resided here for his coronation as King of Lombardy Venetia in Milan in September 1838, and the second from 1854 to 1856, in anticipation of the state visit of the young Emperor Franz Joseph and Empress Elizabeth, affectionately known as Sissi, a visit that extended for 38 days between November 1856 and January 1857. Empress Elizabeth later spent another 7 months here, from October 1861 to May 1862, with her husband, Franzi, who traveled from Vienna by train at least 10 times. This lavish and grand ballroom stands out within the palace for its complete and refined empire-style decoration. Lorenzo Santi initiated the design in 1822, and Giuseppe Borsato finalized the ornamentation between 1837 and 1838. Loggias at either end of the room were designed to accommodate the orchestra. Above the gilded Corinthian capitals of the fluted stucco columns, two small apses transform the upper section of the ballroom into an oval shape. The central ceiling fresco, painted by Ottorico Politi, depicts peace surrounded by the virtues and the genie of Olympus, a clear symbolic reference to the Habsburg Restoration following the Napoleonic era.
As your exploration of the Correr Museum concludes, we hope you've been captivated by the rich tapestry of Venetian history and art housed within these magnificent walls. To further enhance your journey through Europe, be sure to explore other exciting videos on our channel. From iconic landmarks to hidden gems, exciting Europe is your key to unlocking unforgettable travel experiences. Subscribe and continue your adventure with us.